Spartans! What is your profession?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm the Knight and I will be showing you the DPS Meditation Guardian. Now first of all we will be using the Greatsword and the Scepter Focus with the Sigil of Battle and the Sigil of Air on the Greatsword and the Sigil of Energy with the Sigil of Air on the Scepter Focus. Now for the wounds we're going to be using the Rune of the Flame Legion. Now feel free to take the runes you want to use. I mean, you can still go for the runes of strength, you can still go for the runes of the pirate, that's totally up to you, but in my opinion Rune of the Flame Legion brings that extra bit of pressure you kinda need due the burning duration, because with the Virtue of Justice, the passive effect is like every 5th attack you do, you will cause burning for 1 second and a bit, but the DPS Guardian is able to attack that fast. He will be able to give burning like every 3 seconds or something. So that's a pretty good rune right here to bring that extra pressure on the enemy. Now for the burning duration as well, you do have to know with the 6 irradiance right here, which I explain later, it's not only precision but it's also condition damage, which is maxed through the traits right here. So basically when you're fighting someone and you apply burning, there's like a lot of enemies underestimating the power of one condition. I mean, if you're fully in condition damage, like you can see right here, I got 300 condition damage. Now that's not a lot, but basically if you're fighting a DPS Guardian and you are burnt, you will notice it hits quite hard coming from a non-condition dealer, and also, by the way, it's even that strong that basically if I'm fighting a warrior, a DPS warrior, like you see in my gameplay video, the link is right here, left of the screen, by the way, for the whole video. You can see when I'm fighting a warrior, the burning damage even well, it even tops his healing signet. I mean, we all know that the healing signet of warrior is pretty strong. I'm not gonna call it overpowered because it's not. People just have to learn to counter it. You lazy dumbasses. No, but okay, yeah, healing signet is quite strong, but there are multiple ways to easily counter it. I mean, you just have to outplay them. It doesn't matter if you're DPS or if you're condition damage or whatever. You just have to outplay a warrior. Like putting poison and burning damage is quite good to start with. I don't know if you can see it in a video, but my burning damage on my DPS Guardian tops the healing signet. So his healing signet can't heal. Well, it does still heal, but it can't top my burning damage. So the burning damage on Guardian is pretty cool, and that's why I decided to keep the Rune of the Flame Legion. So that's kind of the only reason, because it counters a lot of healings. Instead of poison, I just use my burning. It's also quite powerful, so yeah, therefore the Rune of the Flame Legion. Now for the amulet, we're gonna be using the Berserker amulet, because we'll be using DPS, which stands for damage per second. And my honest opinion, I think DPS Guardians are able to deal the biggest amount of DPS in the whole game. I mean, you can call out that Thief has more damage. That might be possible, but not in a short time. I mean, a Guardian is able to just withstand some bursts and attacks from the enemy, while a Thief is not. So basically the biggest DPS, in my opinion, is coming from a DPS Guardian. So that's pretty sick. Don't underestimate a DPS Guardian. I warn you, really don't. Just check my gameplay video. As you can see, a lot of people underestimated the DPS Guardian, and you will see why, and you will see what happens to them if people underestimate a wolf in sheep cloth. Never underestimate a wolf, because Not only are they cute, but they have teeth, so you need to be careful, okay? Anyway, for the traits, we will be using the 6 in Radiance, the 6 in Valor, and the 1 in Honor, and 1 in Virtues. I will go over quick the minor traits first. So basically, the 1 in Virtues will be Inspired Virtue. That means if you activate one of those virtues right here, you will gain a boon extra. Like you can see, with this one it's Might, with this one it's Regen, and with this one it's Protection. The 1 in Honor, it gives you 5 and a bit seconds of Vigor each time you land a critical hit, every 10 seconds. So it has a cooldown of 10 seconds, but with this build you have like 49% critical chance. If you use a meditation, it's 69% critical chance. Because of this trait, if you stick with Deceptor Focus, it will be, let me think, it's 84% critical chance. So trust me, you will gain that Vigor every 10 seconds. You don't need to worry about that. You have more than enough critical hit chance to gain and activate that trait. That's why I took the 1 in Honor. Now for Valor, we're gonna be using the Valorous Defense. So when you're at 50% HP, you gain an extra Aegis block right here, so that's pretty cool. Meditation Mastery, it reduces the recharge on meditations, because we will be using 3 meditations. I'm not gonna use the healing meditation because it's a piece of shit. It's crap. I mean, it looks quite cool, but it only heals for 20% damage you dealt to targets within 6 seconds. So if the enemy is smart enough, if you use this skill, there is this little symbol right here. If the enemy is smart enough, he will just disappear and run away from you, so you can't heal, and you will only heal for like well, in total with the meditation trait you will be able to heal like 3500 or something, which is nothing. So don't use this healing, even though it's a meditation. Don't use it. It might be good if you're going to Kamikaze, if you want to play Hot Join Hero. Be my guest. This might work out if you just land in the middle of an AoE AFK fight. I don't care. Sorry, I don't care. So just do what you want. But basically, I'm gonna stick with Shelter because I want to stay alive. Because that DPS card is a useless DPS card. So basically, we're gonna stick with Shelter. Now the reduces recharge on meditation, so it's 20% cooldown reducement. So that's pretty cool. You got 3 meditations right here. So yeah. The other minor trait, Courageous Return, that's a piece of shit as well. Virtue of Courage is recharge when you rally. I mean, that's again, you prove that you're useless because you died. Don't die, don't rally. That's actually not that good, because as a DPS guard we want to stay alive and we want to deal and kill enemies, deal damage and kill enemies. So yeah. The second trait right here, Focused Mind, Meditations grant Fury. Now each time you're gonna use a meditation right here, which is the Judge's Intervention, the Smite Condition, and the Contemplation of Purity, you will have Fury for a bit over 4 seconds. So that's pretty good in my opinion. Your critical hit chance will raise by 20%, so in total you will have, like, now it's 49 I think, yeah, so you will have 69 critical chance. And if you are at Scepter Focus, once again you will have 84% critical damage right here, so that's more than enough. For the Might of the Protector, which is the third minor trait in Valor, gain might when you block attacks. So that's why I said the Rune of Strength is also pretty viable with this build, because every time you are blocking with this skill, with this skill, with this skill, and well, not this one, because this basically doesn't block because you're just invulnerable. The attacks don't even hit you. So so this one is a block, this one is a block, this one is a block. You can activate it again. The passive thing right here, gain Aegis when you're struck below the health threshold. So at 50% HP you gain another Aegis. So you're able to stack quite some might right there. And also I'm using the Sigil of Battle on a great sword. Feel free to also use Sigil of Battle on the Scepter Focus instead of the Sigil of Air. You at least need one Sigil of Energy, so you gain a bit more survivability. Be my guest to change it to Sigil of Battle instead of this one, so feel free to go. It's your choice, so basically it's totally up to you. If you find that you survive enough with the DPS Guardian, you can just remove the energy sigil and go for the Sigil of Battle to gain more might. So that way the Rune of Strength might still be useful on this build because of the traits, because you will be blocking a lot on this build, trust me. If you time your blocks, you will be able to like stack I don't know if there is a cooldown. There is no cooldown, so basically, like, let's say you want to have some stacks of might, just go in the enemy team fight and use his shelter, and you will be like block all over the screen, and you will be you'll have like 20 stacks of might in like 2 seconds. Yeah, what's up, dog? Yeah, so basically, no, so I wasn't serious. So it's still pretty viable. You can still gain might when you block attacks, so don't worry. But don't use your healing skill to just gain those blocks right there. Just use your Shield of Wrath while you're fighting anyone. That's enough, way more than enough to gain some might. Also, like I said before, you can still go for the Sigil of Battle instead of the Sigil of Energy. So each time you swap weapons, you gain 3 stacks of might. So that's pretty good as well. The 3 stacks of might stays for 20 seconds, and you swap weapons every 9 seconds. So you will be able to stack 6 stacks of might if you put Sigil of Battle on both of the sets. So that's pretty good as well. Now for the last trait in Valor, we will be using Monk's Focus. So each time you use a healing skill, it heals you for 2000. So like I said, we will be using 2 meditation skills right here. So they will heal you with 2000 each time you use them, and that's a bonus. The first minor trait in Radiance is Justice is Blind. So if you activate this one, it will blind enemies in the radius of 240. Now as you can see, if you hover over this one and hover over the virtue right here, you see there this radius is 1200 and this radius is 240. The blind radius only applies on the 240 radius. This radius is, for instance, if you're gonna activate the Virtue of Justice, that's for a radius of 1200. So that's only for the passive effect. Don't forget that. Now the 6th Radiance, blind exposure. Inflicting blindness also applies for an ability. Now why are we gonna use that? So basically on this build right here, without doing anything special, without using the elite, you got 3 sources of blind. You got the Ray of Judgment, you got the Virtue of Justice, and you got the Leap of Faith. And each time you apply blindness, you will apply 3 stacks of vulnerability. Now I do have to say, don't use your blinds too offensively. You still want to manage to stay alive only if you have the feeling like you're owning the fight, like you're certain you're gonna win. Then you might want to use this as an offensive skill to apply vulnerability. But in my opinion, just stick with it as a defensive skill to counter incoming burst. We'll just press this once and the burst will miss, so that's pretty good, that's pretty easy. So yeah. For the second minor trait, Renewed Focus, Virtue of Justice is renewed when you kill a foe. Well, it's pretty obvious, I don't have to explain it. The Virtue of Justice is this one. It will just be recharged if you kill a foe. The second trait Radiance is Searing Flames. When you apply burning to a foe, remove a boon, sorry. So each 10 seconds you will be able to remove a boon. You will be able to cause burning like every 2-3 seconds because of the rapid attacks, also the traits right here, and the meditations like here. So you don't need to worry about burning. You will cause more than enough burning. But basically, why did I take this trait is simply because the other traits does not fit my build. I don't use signets right here. I don't use sword or spears. Spirit weapons cause burning. I don't use spirit weapons. I don't use a torch, so all those skills are useless. And if I check here, gain retaliation when using a healing skill, it's only 3 seconds. I find it a waste. Signet mastery, I don't use signets. Burn nearby foes when you are struck while below the health threshold. I mean, it is a 10-second burn, but it's not that special because the cooldown is quite long as well. It's like 60 seconds cooldown. When you're set on fire, you gain fury. Well, the only time you will gain fire is from fighting a condition engineer, a warrior, or another guardian, maybe a dumbfire necro, a trap ranger, but you don't see those a lot except for the warrior with the longbow. So when you apply burning to a foe removal boon, I find this quite useful. I know it's pretty long internal cooldown, it's like every 10 seconds one boon, but it might save you. I mean, like last night I was fighting a warrior, he had stability and might, and I was able to rip off his stability, and I was able to burst him again with the binding blade pull right here, but I will explain the weapon combos later. So this might save your life or turn the tide of the fight pretty quickly. 10 seconds is pretty fast. I mean, it's like one weapon swap and 1 second later, so 10 seconds ain't that long. It's still quite good. Radiant power deal more damage to foes inflicted by conditions. So basically, like I said before, you will be able to apply a lot of burning, you will be able to apply blinding, you will be able to apply vulnerability. If you want even to have certainty, you even might want to swap Sigil of Energy or Sigil of Air for a Sigil of Doom to apply poison. I mean, that's totally up to you. Because the poison, I mean the Sigil of Doom is viable for every build. I mean, even if you go as a Bunker, I mean the Dagger Elementalist with Celestial Amulet is quite Bunker and is still quite good at DPS, not only because of the Celestial Amulet but also because of the Sigil of Doom, because poison does pressure the enemy a lot, because it decreases the healing by 33%. Now let's see, so we got the radiant power. Yeah, so the more damage, the damage increase will be 10% if they have one or more condition on them. 10%, people, that's a lot basically. So if your attack actually deals 1k damage, it will be 1k 100. And with the DPS Guardian, like I said before, you will be able to have access to the biggest DPS and the shortest time of the entire game. I mean, you can say the thief has bigger damage, that might be right, but not when it comes to DPS, damage per second. A guardian is able to do way more damage because he can just stand there and keep damaging, while a thief have to shadow return, have to heal, has to stealth, have to go away, have to turn around from the backstab. I mean, all of that costs time on a thief. When you're looking for real DPS, you're looking for this guardian. Some guardians in PvE are even able to deal more DPS than the average DPS warriors out there. So DPS Guardian in PvP is so strong. It's basically one of the best DPS classes out there. It's not because it has the name Guardian it's weak. It's certainly not. It is one of the best and hardest DPS classes out there. So if you're looking for a real class that can stand and withstand a great amount of damage, this is the build you're looking for. You still have to train. You might die a lot at the beginning because you really lack the stability. You do have 2 stun breakers, but it just comes to positioning. It comes to rotations. You need to know when you're gonna attack. Don't attack at the wrong time. Don't attack when there are a bunch of necro marks on the floor or something. I mean, those are things you really need to consider when you're fighting with this class. So yeah, the last trait right here, one-hand strength, so critical hit chance with one-handed weapons is increased. So that only counts if you're using the scepter focus right here. Your critical hit chance went up with 50%. I don't have to explain it, that's pretty strong as well. Now, as I went to the traits and the build, I will be showing you some guys. I will be showing you the skills right now. So the scepter one is just like a projectile right here, as you can see, every half second or something it hits. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, I've got a lot of crit chance, and every fifth attack I'll be applying burning, and burning does a lot of damage as well, since I got 300 in condition damage. So the second one right here, smite, is like an AoE. You can choose where you want to land it. Let's say right here, but I'm not gonna activate it yet because I want to show you something else first. The third one right here is in 2-second immobilize while able to cost 3 stacks of vulnerability. This is quite good actually. It's not meant as a DPS attack, it is meant as some sort of CC, so the enemy stands still, and that's when you want to use smite. So basically what you want to do is apply the immobilize, which has this animation, and rightly after apply the second one, so they can't run, and they will be having a lot of damage through the smite thingy, because that crits a lot as well. So as you can see, the damage of a guardian is pretty fast. It can cause burning like every 2-3 seconds. The pressure is enormous high, and this ain't even my real DPS yet. I mean, as you can see, those golems are going down pretty quick. Based what you can see now, I'm barely using my attacks, and as you can see, he goes down pretty quick. Like I said, the DPS Guardian has one of the best DPS across all classes, so yeah, that is here is the live proof. But my real DPS, wait, I will just explain the offhand focus first. So the Ray of Judgment, like I explained earlier, is a blind. If I use it like this, hang on, it's on a cooldown right now, it will bounce towards the closest enemy, it will bounce again, and each time it bounces it blinds as well, so that's pretty good as well. Let's say there was an ally right here, it will grant regen for a bit over 3 seconds. That's not really important for you to know, but yeah, as you can see, this is an extra blind. Now this one is the block, like I explained earlier as well. It lasts for 4 seconds, or it blocks 3 seconds, and afterwards it explodes and deals a bit damage as well. Now for the real combo right here, for the real DPS, that's all, and the great sword right here. It's not a big difference compared to the scepter focus, but it does offer a lot of crowd control right here. So basically, I will first explain the skills, and I will show you a nice combo you have to remember later on. So first of all, the auto attack, the damage is quite high actually for auto attack. It's 629, while on a thief it's like 200 and a bit when it comes to a sword dagger, between 200 and 500. So the auto attack on a DPS Guardian is quite strong actually. Now this one, the Whirling Wrath, is a pretty famous animation right here. As you can see, you can also move while using it, but I just didn't do that. But yeah, you can still move while using that. Spin in place and swing your greatsword while hurling powerful projectiles. Now, you have to know the Whirling Wrath right here. As you can see, it will shoot off some projectiles, but you can also just stay close to the enemy and just damage with your greatsword as well. You do have to know some classes are able to reflect projectiles, so it is possible you might have some percentage of your DPS from the Whirling Wrath back to you. But yeah, that's something like an engineer, for instance, can reflect. An offhand focus LA can reflect projectiles. Let's see, a warrior can reflect projectiles. I think even a ranger can, I'm not sure, but I think so. But yeah, some classes are able to reflect projectiles. Third of all, the leap of faith, like I showed earlier, that's a blind as well. So when you hit, you blind. So that's pretty good as well. That will be your third blind right there. And as you can see through the traits, each time I apply blindness, you apply 3 stacks of vulnerability. So that's pretty good. For the fourth one, the symbol of wrath, that will be a part of your combo we're gonna use earlier. So basically, there is like a combo you can use. Right now, you put this mark right here and you just do it like this, and if there are allies in the neighborhood while I use this combo, it will cleanse their conditions, because like you can see, there were cleansing bolts. So if their projectiles hit allies with conditions on them, it cleanses their condition, but that's not really important. What is important is this one right here, Binding Blade. Now the range is quite good actually. It's like 600. That's pretty good. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but if they are leashed, so you can leash them with the Blinding Blade. Let me show you. If I use this, you can see they're leashed right now. It is for 10 seconds, so it's either up to you to just let it upon the enemy or pull afterwards, because this skill right here changes into another animation, the animation where you can pull your target, but it only lasts for 10 seconds, and this will be a part of your combo I'm going to show you right now. So basically, for your utilities right here, we're going to be using Shelter, which is a famous healing. It blocks, you really need this. The Judge's Intervention will be a stun breaker, but it's also a teleport, and it's the same as the Steel or the Signia teleport on the Thief. It's instant. It's also like the Blink on the Mesmer, the Lightning Flash on the Elementalist. Judge's Intervention is exactly the same thing. You can cast a skill, use the skill right after you pressed on a skill, and the animation with the damage would just teleport to the enemy target. The only difference between this teleport and the other teleports is that this actually does require a target for it to teleport. Like if you see Lightning Flash or Blink, you just have to target for yourself where you want to teleport to, but this one, it will only teleport towards the aimed target right here. Smite condition will be your second meditation, cure condition and damage nearby foes, double damage if a condition is cured. So if you got a condition on you, even if it's just like poison or vulnerability, your damage will be doubled with smite condition. The radius is quite small, it's only 360, so you really need to be a bit close. I think the max range should be here. Yeah, I think it's here. I think this is 360. Let's see. Yes, so this is 360 range, so that's the farthest you can go. So yeah, so it will cure one condition, and if it cured one condition, the fire burst right here will cause double the damage as you saw before. Now the last meditation right here is Contemplation of Purity. It converts all the conditions you are suffering from into boons. So even if you got 20 conditions on you, they will just be converted into boons. Now do know this might be your only chance to cleanse a whole burst of conditions, so you kinda need to train and time. When you're fighting, let's say, an engineer and a necro, you kinda need to find a way out to counter them, and to know when you want to use the Contemplation of Purity, because once it's used, you have to wait for 48 seconds to be able to cleanse conditions quite often. Well, I mean, this one, the cooldown is way lower, but it only cures one condition. So basically, if you're poisoned and confused, this might be a good idea to use it. But if you got a lot of conditions on you, like vulnerability, weakness, poison, confusion, all what an engineer basically does in a matter of seconds, this might be a good idea to use it, but just wait and hang on till your health is kind low. You don't want to waste it at the first second. The best thing to do as a DPS guardian is to be really aggressive. As long as you stay aggressive with your huge DPS, your enemy has to play defensive sometimes as well, and that's your exact chance to play offensive. Now I'm gonna show you a little combo right here, which I use in my videos as well. So as you can see on the left side on the screen, there is a link to the gameplay video of this build right here. So basically what I like to do is activate the blinding bait from far and just use the judge's intervention to teleport and take my animation with me to the targets. So basically you're doing damage from the judge's intervention. You're doing damage because the blade hits, and you will be able to pull him afterwards if he doesn't have stability on him. If they do have stability on him, you can still do this, but you just have to wait till their stability ran out. Like I said, the leash duration is about 10 seconds, and most stability sources last for 2 to 8 seconds, so it really differs. So you just have to wait out till the stability ran out and then pull them and show the combo I'm gonna show you now. So basically what you want to do is first use blinding blade, then judge's intervention, then after use the symbol of wrath. This animation will change because the enemy has a leash on it. Then pull them and use immediately whirling wrath. So your combo will be with a greatsword mostly. So basically I will just show you now. I activate blinding blade, I use judge's intervention, I put the field down first, I pull, and I use whirl at the right start, and then you can just go for blinding for the leap of flight and just immobilize and use your scepter again to deal a huge amount of DPS again. So that's it for the combo exactly. There is no other real combo you can use unless you're using the sword focus one. The sword too is a teleport as well, but I don't really have a sword on me at the moment. No, I don't. Maybe on my other guardian, because this is my second guardian, by the way. I only use this guardian for DPS purposes. My other guardian is the bunker guard. So yeah, so I will show you guys the combo again. So you can, the range is pretty far, it's like 1200, I think it's here. So basically you can start greatsword 5 here, use judges, put the combo, pull, do whirling, and immediately you have to blind them and just use your scepter focus to finish him off. So as you can see, this was a heavy golem right here. Most people aren't able to kill this golem that fast. As I said, the DPS guardian has one of the biggest DPS across the whole game and all classes. So don't underestimate this guy. Now I think I'm ready. Basically guys, if you enjoyed this video, just like and subscribe for more daily videos. I will be making the dagger pistol thief gameplay right now. Basically, if you got any questions, just whisper to the name you see on the bottom left corner. Just send me an in-game mail. Donations are free to come as well. I mean, that's totally up to you. Just leave a like and subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And as again, if you got any questions, just ask through in-game mail. I will respond them as soon as possible, because you do have to know I'm every day online, so you don't need to worry. You don't need to wait long until you get an answer. Just ask me in-game through in-game mail. Because if you whisper to me, it might be possible I will have to ignore it because I'm in a game or something, I'm in a match. So basically it's better for me if you just send an in-game mail with your name and account name on it, or with the title, with the thing you want to ask, and I'll answer just within like half an hour or so. It really depends if I'm in a game or not. Guys, thanks for watching and see you later.